Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're digging into something that I think touches pretty much everyone listening, whether you're a big foodie, maybe you run a restaurant, or, just someone who scrolls through online reviews now and then. We are talking about how artificial intelligence is really fundamentally changing the whole world of restaurant reviews. We've got some fascinating articles, some really interesting insights here about customer feedback and all this cutting edge AI stuff in the food space. For ages, customer reviews have basically been the heartbeat of a restaurant's reputation.
Right.
They've had so much power, they can lift a place up or honestly sometimes sink it completely. But now in 2025, something kind of big is happening almost behind the scenes.
That's right. AI is quietly getting involved in the entire review cycle. It's not just about how reviews get written, it's also how they're read, how they're understood, and crucially, how restaurants actually respond to them. This isn't just some small tweak. It's really redefining how restaurants build trust and find new customers. And honestly, if you're not paying attention to how AI is weaving into this whole system, you're probably missing out, missing opportunities, missing insights.
Okay. So, our mission for this deep dive then is to really unpack how AI is changing the game here. For restaurant reviews, we want to look at it from, your angle as a customer, but also from the business owner side too, and figure out what all these changes actually mean for you. Okay, let's dig in. Right, let's start at the very beginning, getting the review in the first place. We all know the classic problem. Most people, myself included sometimes, only leave a review if it was amazing. Or, well, if it was really, really bad. That huge middle ground, often just silence. So how is AI starting to change that to get more feedback and maybe better feedback?
Yeah, this is a really good example of AI tackling a very human issue. It boils down to context and timing. AI systems can now sort of identify these ideal moments to ask for feedback. Think about it maybe right after your food delivery arrives, super fast, everything perfect. Or maybe just as you're paying the bill after a really great meal dining in. That's when the positive feelings are strongest and you're more likely to actually do it. And platforms, like Foodcus is one example, they use AI, predictive analytics actually. They look at past behavior, real-time stuff like when you pay or when the delivery is marked complete. To pinpoint that exact right time for a prompt, they even suggest like wording specific to a dish you ordered to help you be more detailed. And it sounds natural friendly. The result isn't just, oh, more reviews. It's more detailed reviews, higher quality.
Huh. That's a really interesting shift. So it's not just bumping up the number of reviews, it's getting more comments that actually mention the important stuff. Like,
Yeah.
oh, the fries were perfectly crispy, or the service was super quick even though it was packed, or that nice cozy vibe.
Right.
Imagine getting feedback that specific. It helps you really pinpoint what people love or maybe what needs a little adjusting. That's way more useful. And kind of building on that, making it easier. The biggest thing that stops me sometimes is just the hassle, the effort of actually typing out the review. You had a good meal, you want to say something nice, but then you look at the blank box on your phone and, yeah, often just move on. So that's where it gets really interesting, I think.
Exactly. And AI is stepping right into that gap, making it almost effortless, turning what felt like a chore into just, a quick interaction. These platforms can actually help by suggesting phrases, pre-filling some ideas based on what you ordered or the general vibe of your experience. So like, it might pop up with a suggestion. The grilled salmon was perfectly cooked and the staff was super friendly, something like that. Now, it's still your review. You write it, you approve it, but the AI gives you that starting point. And that unlocks all this detailed feedback that restaurants just weren't getting before. With more reviews, yeah, but also much richer reviews. It kind of shifts the work from you having to remember the details to just recognizing them when the AI suggests it.
That makes total sense. Less friction for the customer means more data, more insights for the restaurant. Definitely sounds like a win-win. Helps improve the whole experience. Okay, so we've made it easier for customers to leave reviews. But what about the flip side? Restaurants get all these reviews now. How do they manage them all? Responding to every single one, especially when you're slammed during dinner service, that sounds really tough. But we know responding is super important, right? For trust, for showing you care. How's AI helping there?
Well, this is a huge one for the businesses. It turns what was a massive time sink into, a real efficiency booster. Tools, again, like Foodcus, they offer AI-generated replies, but they're smart about it. They tailor the reply based on the tone of the review as a positive, negative, mixed, and the actual content. They use templates, sure, but they're customizable so they sound human, not like some generic robot response. And the big outcome, super fast response times, which really signals to customers, hey, we're listening, we care about your feedback. It lets the restaurant stay active online, look professional, without someone having to spend hours crafting replies. It's about showing you're engaged. And, maybe even turning a slightly unhappy customer into someone who feels heard.
Wow, that level of quick personalized response, but automated, that's pretty powerful, especially for smaller places, right? Helps them manage their online reputation, maybe like the bigger chains can. And it's not just about replying to one review at a time, is it? Can AI help restaurants see the bigger picture? Like when they have hundreds, maybe thousands of comments, what about trends?
Absolutely. That's the next level up. Moving from individual interactions to seeing the macro view. AI uses things like, well, natural language processing, NLP, and sentiment analysis. Fancy terms, but basically. It reads and understands huge amounts of text, way more than a person could. It can pick out common complaints. Maybe lots of people mention long wait times or food arrived cold. Or it can highlight things people consistently praise, like amazing tiramisu or really friendly staff. And it can track if sentiment is generally going up or down over time.
Okay, so what does that actually mean for the person running the restaurant? How does knowing all that translate into like actual business decisions?
Oh, it's incredibly valuable. It means they can make smarter, data-backed choices. They can see exactly what needs fixing. Maybe that cold food issue points to a delivery process problem. They can figure out what to promote. Or, hey, everyone loves the tiramisu, let's feature it. They can even use the feedback to train staff better, focusing on areas where customers consistently have issues or praise. Platforms like Foodcus automate this analysis, giving insights that go way beyond just the star rating. It might reveal hidden problems or even market opportunities you wouldn't spot otherwise.
That really is a game changer. Imagine knowing, like, for sure what most of your customers are thinking, not just based on one loud complaint or one glowing review, but the collective voice. It's like having a constant, super efficient focus group. Okay, finally, we got to touch on the less pleasant side of online reviews. Fake reviews, nasty attacks. Sometimes people try to review bomb a place with tons of fake negatives. How does AI help fight that stuff to keep the whole system trustworthy?
Right, the dark side. AI is becoming a really crucial defense here, like a digital bouncer for reviews. It's helping the big platforms, think Google, Yelp, etc., flag stuff that looks suspicious. Not just obviously fake reviews, but also those review bombs you mentioned, sudden unnatural spikes in bad reviews, and other weird patterns that might suggest bots, or maybe even a competitor trying to cause trouble. It's kind of an ongoing battle, this arms race between the people trying to game the system and the AI trying to catch them. But the goal is a more accurate, more trustworthy review ecosystem for everybody, and for the honest restaurant owners. It means fewer headaches, less unfair damage to their reputation, lets them focus on running their business.
Yeah, that trust factor is just so critical, isn't it? For us as customers trying to find a good place, and for the businesses trying to get a fair shake online. Good to know AI is working back there to help protect that. So, just to wrap it up then, AI is bringing this huge, yet kind of quiet transformation to how we get prompted for reviews, how we write them, how restaurants respond, how they analyze all the feedback, even fighting spam. It's amazing how deeply it's getting woven into this everyday thing.
It really is. And it's moved beyond being just a nice-to-have feature. In this industry now, it's fast becoming a real competitive edge. You kind of need it. And it makes you wonder, doesn't it, if AI can get this good at managing and understanding something so subjective, so human, like our dining experiences. What other parts of our lives is it quietly improving right now, maybe without us even noticing? What other kinds of insights could we get by letting it work away intelligently behind the scenes?
Definitely some food for thought there. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and we really encourage you to keep exploring these fascinating ways technology is mixing with our everyday lives.